The US and Canada swung sharply towards a diplomatic and trade crisis as top White House advisers lashed out at Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in the wake of the G7 summit. White House economic adviser Larry Kudlow accused Mr. Trudeau of attacking President Trump after he announced reciprocal tariffs on the US and asserted Canada would not be pushed around. Zachary Goldman from Reuters reports.
President barely out of there on the plane to North Korea, and he starts insulting us.
The White House on Sunday went on the attack against an unlikely enemy, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The spark that lit U.S. President Donald Trump's rage against Ottawa, Trudeau's announcement that Canada would impose tariffs of its own on the United States.
As Canadians, we're polite, we're reasonable, but we also will not be pushed around.
Those words, too much for the Trump administration.
Trudeau decided to attack the president. That's the key point. And yes, if you attack this president, he's going to fight back.
Aboard Air Force One on his way to a landmark meeting with the leader of North Korea, Trump unloaded on Trudeau for his remarks, calling him very dishonest and weak. And he went further by pulling his name from a joint communique signed by all the leaders of a G7 summit over the weekend, undercutting 2 days of top-level diplomatic efforts aimed at unity.
I'm arguing Trudeau picked the fight. President Trump had no alternative, in my opinion.
White House economic adviser Larry Kudlow on Sunday tried to explain the sudden fraying of one of the longest and most cherished international relationships in world history.
Trudeau should have known better.
Trump's decision in May to impose tariffs on steel and aluminum imports on several longtime allies, including Canada, shook up Ottawa, particularly because Trump cited national security as his justification.
That it's kind of insulting.
Trudeau has long tried to cultivate positive ties with Trump and the First Family. But Trump's tariffs have tested the limits of that relationship, and the Prime Minister's public response may have been too much for the President to bear.
My job is to stand up for Canadian workers, Canadian interests, and I will do that without flinching.
The diplomatic trough sparking something of a social media boost for the Canadian leader. Twitter compared Trudeau's response to actor Hugh Grant's portrayal of a British Prime Minister who stands up to a lecherous and bullying American president in the 2003 film Love Actually.
Reaction to Trump.
But this drama may have real-world consequences for the two nations. The fate of the North America Free Trade Agreement hangs in the balance, and Trump has threatened to quit the deal if his terms are not met.
That's Zachary Goldman from Reuters there.